Testing my audio. Looks okay. In preparation for our departure, we'll retract the air bridge. Doors have been closed. Okay, let's power on the APU. Ten minutes to go. Stream looks good. Alright, I'm just chatting with Dan, who invited me for this flight. Seemed like an interesting one. Looks like Jackson Center. Let's see if Jackson Center. Yeah, I don't know. Usually Jackson Center is up in the area of Orlando and above. So I don't think we have ATC. Fort Lauderdale there. So we'll be departing on basically out to the ocean. Let's look at our chart here. I guess we'll turn around just after we've crossed beyond the coast, and then we'll wrap it back and get back onto dry land, so to speak. Okay, APU is on the bus. Let's just get that going. Okay, the bleeds, that dual bleed, APU is on, and we can probably remove the ground power. So ground power off, and remove the ground power. Ground actions, we can disconnect the air. We're now being powered by the APU at a nice 22 degrees in the cabin. So just reviewing our departure procedure. We've got an Aggers 1 departure, and basically we are going 10 left. So we climb on heading 96, which is already selected on our course, and intercept course 075 to Lima Lima Bravo Oscar Whiskey, and then on track 26 degrees to cross room at or above 4,000, and then as depicted. So it's no ATC required for this departure. We'll just set our initial altitude to 4,000 and then reset it to our initial cruise, which is going to be flight level 350, which is plugged in up here, but we will be climbing again to probably 370 after that. Let's take a look at the landing altitude. in Toronto Pearson. Currently expecting runway 23. My preferred, it's a better, closer to the Flair gates. Alpha 3 for us. Okay, so elevation is 560 feet on runway 23. Any difference with the others? It's about the same. Okay, let's set that to 560. Yeah, I think we can do 540. 550, sorry. Okay, that's good enough. Fasten seat belts all on. Passengers are all seated. 1 minute to go. So let's see, where's Dan? Oh, there's somebody else. There's the WestJet we were expecting. So that's Rick. Hello, Rick. But he hasn't got his flight plan loaded yet. Okay, so really to our back left. So that Air Canada is Dan. Hello, Dan. And can I see Rick? Yeah, Rick's back there in the WestJet. You can just make out the tail. See if I can point to. Oh, you can't see that from here. Sorry. I need to figure out a way to give you guys an overall external view without sacrificing my quality of my main screen. Okay. All right, we are up. So let me. There we go. Okay, so we're expecting 10 left. So let's pull that up. So welcome everyone to the stream. We are departing from Fort Lauderdale Hollywood Airport. And I was invited on this sector by Dan, who's accompanying us in Air Canada. Gosh, I don't have it right now. 2826 or something. Let me see. Dan is in 2826. Yep. And also Rick. So Rick's in a WestJet, Dan's in a Air Canada, and I'm in a Flair. And all these three airlines do fly from Hollywood, Fort Lauderdale Airport to Toronto Pearson, which is what we're planning. So it's appropriate. Full representation from the Canadian fleet. All right. So what we'll do is we will push back facing nose right, and then we'll taxi either Tango 4 or Tango 3 out to Bravo, make a left on Bravo, and then go to holding point Bravo 1. Okay, we're disconnected. About 4 minutes to departure time. Hello Dan, hello Rick. Paul here in Flair 1603 at gate Echo 3, and I'll be pushing back as scheduled at 1900. Welcome aboard. All right, let's get our prepared for pushback. Pushback facing nose right.
Hello, Captain. We are ready for pushback.
Yep, 5x5, Flair 1603.
Yeah, 5x5 here as well, thanks. Departure checks completed. Bypass pin inserted.
Yep, those fuel pumps are on,
Locking
and we
gear.
do have center tank fuel today. Pushing back nose right.
Release parking brakes, please.
Parking brakes released.
Commencing push. All engines clear. Start at will.
Starting engine number 2. Engine number 2. Motoring.
For the traffic, Air Canada 326 is at gate Delta 5, pushing back and planning on a 10 left departure. Fort Lauderdale.
Into 25%. Give that sucker some fuel.
Please set parking brakes.
Parking brake set.
Unlocking gear.
Thanks, buddy.
Tow truck disconnected. Bypass pin removed.
Fort Lauderdale traffic,
Starting.
right is clear. 009, pushback gate Delta
Engine
2,
number 1.
10 left departure, Fort Lauderdale traffic.
Motoring 21% N2. .25% N2. Fuel flow on. Okay, engine number 1 has started up. So let's get engine 2 on the bus. Engine 1 on the bus. Okay. PEX on auto. Isolation valve to auto. Turn the bleed off on the APU. And we can turn the APU off. APU off. Okay, let's just do our scan here. Everything looks good. We can center fuel. Okay. We're good. Parks. Wipers are parked. Put our taxi light on. Engine start switches to continuous. Seatbelt signs on. Probe heats on. We don't need any anti-ice. Okay, we'll put this position light, collision light on. Okay.
Fort Lauderdale traffic, Air Canada 326, taxiing runway 10 left via Tango Charlie Bravo. Fort Lauderdale.
Okay, so systems, right, left, forward, aft, rudder, left, rudder, right. Okay, fuel flow reset, engine transfer. Okay. Hollywood traffic, Flair 1603 is taxiing from parking bay Echo 3 via taxi 3 Bravo to holding point Bravo 1 runway 10 left. Please completed. Let's rock and roll. Parking brake off.
Fort Lauderdale traffic, let's jet 1009, get a taxi over to 10 left, could be Tango Charlie, and a little hide behind some of the traffic up there, let's jet 1009.
Okay, folks, we have 180 people, passengers on board, plus 4 crew and 2 pilots today. And we actually, in a surprise, we actually have some fuel in our center tanks. So we'll have to pay attention to when it's time to switch the center tank fuel off. Okay, we're gonna make a right on Tango 4 and then continue on Bravo.
Fort Lauderdale traffic, Air Canada 2826 lining up runway 10 left, Fort Lauderdale.
There's Dan. Straight ahead.
Fort Lauderdale traffic, Air Canada 2826 rolling runway 10 left.
Yeah, you can probably just make out Dan now coming the opposite direction. Okay, we're passing by now Bravo 4. The signs are a little bit different.
Approaching
Air Canada
10
left.
left.
On the Ashford 1 departure and coming to 1 Fort Dove.
Hollywood traffic, Flair 1603 is lining up runway 10 left for an Aggers 1 departure for Toronto, Fort Lauderdale traffic.
Approaching 10 left.
Alright, let's just do a quick look left, clear, look right, clear. Okay, let's put our lights on and our strobes. Let's go.
On runway 10. 0 left.
Okay, throttle up to 40%. Stable. Set takeoff thrust. Forward pressure under controls.
Knots.
Release forward pressure. Rotate. Positive rate, gear up.
Yeah, Fort Lauderdale traffic, let's hit 1009, lining up on right, 10 left.
Okay, command mode. Flaps 1. Hollywood traffic, Flair 1603 is airborne passing 2,700 for 4,000. We are going to climb to our cruise altitude, flight level 350, Hollywood traffic.
That's all. We're also at flight level 350. We'll keep an eye on the space. Thanks.
Roger, we'll do the same.
Yeah, Fort Lauderdale traffic, let's hit 1009, departing runway 10 left, H is 1.5.
Hey Rick, what's your final?
We'll be doing 350 and then stepping up to 370 a little bit later.
I guess so.
Yeah, I got that step climb too. Too bad we can't see those just barely.
Reach 5.
Okay, after takeoff checklist. Engine bleeds are on. Packs on auto. Landing gear is up and flaps up. No lights after takeoff checklist completed. Okay, so still climbing out. Looks like we're coming up to waypoint Lyric. That's how you say it. Do a fuel check. Lyric 18.3. Okay, we're doing good. Okay, we're gonna put our secret weapon on. Let's see. secret weapon, of course, is the TCAS mode, the special TCAS mode that lets me see more than just 2,800 feet above and below. You know, that's probably a wise thing for... Wow, like burn. Oh, I see. Okay, config fuel. All right, so I guess when you're under 1,000, you want to switch off the center tank. Very good. Center tank is off. Okay. Yeah, you probably want to limit your visibility to traffic, to only the traffic that might be a risk for you, and to use the expanded mode that gives you unlimited altitude to see other aircraft. And as it happens, I don't see anybody yet. Let's see. Oh, that's probably Dan straight ahead. And I got him on my scope, on my multifunction display, so he's looking to be about 22 miles or so ahead of me, just having passed Alpha Romeo Papa Sierra, and he is 10,000 feet above me, so he's at flight level 250. We'll be switching to standard shortly. You prefer that mode? Maybe that looks better. Okay, it may be difficult to see my aircraft on the chart. Here we are. We're going to be passing West Palm Beach to the right of us. But sorry for the cloud cover. We saw it in the forecast. So no surprises. Okay, just catching up on my comments here. That's great, Dan. Setup looks amazing. The kids are jealous. And me too. All right. Hey, Rick. All right, cool. Thanks, Rick. I'm glad you are on the stream. It's a little bit difficult to listen to both live and the stream. We're about 20 seconds, 23 second delay on the stream, but roughly we're there. Cool. Well, I'm glad to join you guys, and thanks for the invite, Dan. Got to do this more often. I'm actually part of a group that consists of about 3 pilots, but their location is in either in Asia. Dan, on my scope, about 25 miles ahead of me, and you're probably at about flight level 300 right now. Set cruise for Mach 0.8. Yeah, that's, yeah. I do, I can adjust it for that, no problem. I usually do a cost index of 60, which gives me a cruise normally of Mach decimal 796, I think. But I can update it once we get to our cruise altitude. Sounds good to me? All right. Very good. You know, a lot of people don't enjoy longer flights, but I'm somebody that does, and happy to be on this one, from the close to the end of Florida all the way up to Toronto. We'll be passing my home base, Washington Dulles, along the way, I guess. So, taking a look at our whole route. There it is. Give you a nice big view of it for a So we have about 1,000, just over 1,000 miles to go. And we should get there by around 21:55 Zulu. So in about 2.5 hours. Yeah, that's cool. It's so close. We might as well do the same just to maintain spacing. Lights off, and I think we can let folks out of their seats. And start switches to auto. On an NG, you're gonna have start switches to off, I think. On the Max, it's to auto. And we're otherwise set up nicely. Let's see if we have Jacksonville up. No, I don't see any ATC around. That's VATSIM time, not flight time. We always want to check our pilot's credentials. Okay, 708 hours. Okay, very good. And let's see. Dan. Wow, 2,800 almost hours. So he's the pro. Okay, Dan is leveling at flight level 350. 2-hour flights today worked out nicely. Yep. Dash 8. Wow. See, now I don't have a luxury of switching aircraft. I've only got one cockpit. All right. I've let Toronto Pearson know that we are inbound. Okay. Hopefully they'll staff it up for us. Sounds good. Well, my top of climb, I'll be there shortly. Less than 5 minutes. Now I'm going to put a marker around the waypoint that I need to start my step climb at. So where is it? It is Oven P. Oven P. Okay, Oven P. So Oven P. There it is. Go to the fixed page on the second page. We'll put a 20-mile radius around it. Okay. And I usually reserve the fixed page position 1 for doing the rings for the runway that we're landing at. And I usually do 4 miles, 10 miles, and 20 miles. 20 miles is like the furthest out I usually need to start thinking about flaps 1. And I try to be all configured by 4 miles, although some people do a gear down at 4 miles. Okay, so we're about 167 miles from our step climb, and we're about 10 miles from our top of cruise out for the moment. Okay, cool. About the FDS setup for the... Oh, sadly paying the kids post-secondary and mortgage comes first. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I was dreaming about this cockpit for a long time. So, what sim are you using now? Okay, we are reaching our cruise altitude, flight level 350.
Ladies and gentlemen, the flight attendants will shortly be making their way through the cabin to offer various beverages of your choice. There will also be a selection of goods available for purchase, and we can accept most credit cards, checks and cash. If there's anything we can do to make your trip more enjoyable, please don't hesitate to ask. Now we'd like you to sit back, relax and enjoy the flight.
Alright, so I'm going to try to update my cruise speed, make it Mach decimal 80. Okay, so we're using that. And let's do, actually looking at the VNAV, it already says that optimal is at threes between, it's actually 376, so we will be going up to 370, ATC permitting, but I don't think they're going to have a problem for us. So I'm going to zoom out a little bit here, and the very top, I don't know if you can see it, there's the ring for my scheduled climb. Okay, I use P3D, but Microsoft Flight Simulator once in a while. My setup is just a Cytec pedal, throttle, and Logitech Extreme. Need to keep the desk clear for other uses. Yeah, okay. You know, I've actually thought about going back into a desktop sim as an addition to my full-size sim here. And the reason is so that I can fly in Microsoft Flight Simulator. You know, P3D, and also there's some nice, the default 787 is pretty nice too. I'd like to have try that. You know, when I was considering getting the sim, there was a debate over initially whether to get an NG or a Max. Much more support for the NG out there, but I thought no, I need to go forward. I've had the opportunity to start now, so I decided on the Max, but there was also a debate between the Max and the 787, which also has the nice big screens, but it's also got, you know, all those synoptics, and it's got a more modern design. But in the end I chose the Max because it's got the history, you know, of 737s. The overhead panel is almost the same as the panels when they first came out with the 737 in the 60s and 70s, actually it was 60s, wasn't it? So I thought, you know, it's very cool to have the big screens and the aging overhead, which is more fun to toggle all those switches rather than just push buttons. But, you know, now I'm still wanting to fly in a 787. So, yeah, I'll be probably trying to get myself set up for a good desktop. But not until I've completed this build. This build is not complete. I still have to put the liners in and stuff like that. Oh, really? Oh, cool. So there's I guess where you are is there's a sim there. Okay. What city are you located in? I'm in Leesburg, Virginia, which is very close to Dulles International Airport, about 20 minutes away. Alright, let's do another fuel check. CZ 16.9. Okay, we're doing good. We are about 400 pounds heavier on the fuel than the plan, which I'll take it.
Hey Paul, it's Rick, WestJet 1009. I'm about 10 miles behind you. What's your current Mach?
Hey Rick, how you doing? I am doing Mach decimal 8 at the moment.
Okay, you're good then. Just didn't want to creep up behind you, so we'll have plenty of separation. Thanks, Paul.
Yep, and my VNAV says that it's I'm ready for a step climb, but I'm going to wait until the plan indicated it. So at Alvin P, I'm going to be stepping up to flight level 370.
Okay, roger that. It looks like we'll be heading up there around the Ilsa for the 370, so we'll keep that in mind. WestJet 1009.
Roger, sounds good. Ilsa, okay, he's going to be later. Okay, the Max was a good choice. If we won the lottery, I'd get that too. We live in Barrie, Ontario, 90 minutes north of Toronto. Okay, very cool. You know, I've really enjoyed lately flying in Canadian airspace. I do the Moncton Monday. I try to do that, but there's also a conflict with vectors to Copenhagen. So I like to fly to Copenhagen, and I think on this coming Monday I'm going to be doing the Vienna to Copenhagen. Yeah, the Max is a good choice. Yeah, I think it was. I mean, it takes up a little bit less space than a 787. And my dreamy self made sure I had enough space here to be able to put a wraparound screen, although I think really I'm going to be not doing that. And I already have three 65-inch OLED TVs, one of which you can see in my stream. And I've got the wing ones just sitting right next to me. And that's going to be my next major upgrade. I have to figure out how to situate the three screens. There's a problem of the rolling supports that will jam up against my pedestal base, which is made out of plywood, about 6 inches. So I have to take off one of the wheels and raise the other wheels. But anyway, that's my next major project. Cruise altitude, time for a little coffee. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, your captain speaking. Welcome aboard and hope you'll enjoy this flight to Toronto. It's nearly a full flight today. We are taking up 180 seats. Okay, and we have Orlando that we'll be passing shortly to our left. So those of you who have a left seat, you got a view of Orlando only if you can see through the clouds. so flight time was somewhat south of 3 hours today from takeoff to landing, and our currently projected arrival time is 21:55 Zulu, and we're now 1941 Zulu, so we've got about 2 hours and 15 minutes left on this flight, and that scheduled arrival time 21:55 is in Zulu time, and local Eastern time is 5 hours earlier. So 2200 would be 1700. So 5 o'clock Eastern time in the afternoon is our arrival. So today we are flying in. Hey, thanks Dan. Yeah, I love it, man. If I could, I'd fly it every day. I almost do anyway. So yeah, normally I find myself that, you know, most events and stuff in VATSIM are scheduled for nighttime. So I always have to roll back the clock in the sim so that I can see outside and I have some visibility, which also makes it more interesting. But today, since we started early enough, this is real time. So real time in the visual model, and also real time in the avionics suite, and also it's real weather. So you know, I've got apps that can show me the real conditions. So sometimes I use those if there's no ATC around to figure out what runways to land on. And also I've got a real world ATIS for the United States, so I don't really get coverage in Canada or any other part of the world, but in the United States, for the 80 major airports in the United States, which I seem to always be flying to, I can get the, you know, active runway departures and arrivals, and runways, and that kind of information. Okay, what did we just pass? The OCF VOR. Okay, so we do have a crosswind, we have a 77 knot wind coming from 276 degrees, and that's a mix of a beam wind and a headwind. We're going to be veering to the right a little bit. Do a step climb soon. I'll leave it up there until we're done with that. So looking again at our VNAV, it's recommending optimum flight level 370 for our current situation. So I will be stepping up to flight level 370 at the waypoint Oven P. Yeah. You know, the strange result of using, you know, rolling back the clock to have daylight is that when you're actually flying at night, you know, you'll often get this fog forming, which would normally form at night, but it happens during the day when you roll back the clock, because the weather is real time and the visuals are rolled back. Like now, you know, Toronto, you can see the effect of that, and also Halifax, where I fly in and out of a lot, also you see that a lot. Yeah, but it's a good method, right? So you can just make out the diamond there. That's Dan in his Air Canada 2826. Let's check the area for any ATC. I do want to figure out how to get a view of the outside of the aircraft. I thought about getting a splitter for my HDMI cable going to the TV. I'm worried that I'm going to lose resolution or some clarity on the screen by splitting the signal. Anyway, I'm still mulling over my options for that. Okay, so there's no ATC. Holman P. Let's see what that might correspond to. No name. Cleveland Center is up, and Toronto Tower, hopefully others come online. Yeah, let me check that. Okay, I do see them. Yeah, it's a pretty good arrival time. I mean, this is, people are flying just before dinner time, so hopefully we'll catch some action there. Okay. Crazy Flair livery is growing on me. We get 3 Flair Maxes parked and nearby Yankee Sierra, which were casualties of lease problems. I believe one has left to Ethiopia. That's interesting. You know, folks try to plan the best they can, but sometimes things don't work out. There was also a case where Bonza had to give up one of their Maxes for Flair, when Flair was eager to get aircraft. Yeah, I kind of like the Flair idea. I watched it on Just Plane's video of flights between Toronto and let's see, Thunder Bay and Calgary. Although I'd like to see a real world Toronto to Halifax, which I do. But yeah, so I like the idea of a small carrier. You know, there's more chance that I can do a majority of their routes. But my my airline that I base my aircraft on is actually United. And it's an interesting story that I got my sim in pieces, but the main instrument panel arrived in a crate. And the day that I brought the MIP into the simulator room was the delivery day for a MAX 8 aircraft to United. And that was, I think it was August 27, 2001, I think that's when it was. So I couldn't help but, you know, think, okay, Dallas is a major hub for United. And so my aircraft is officially November 27260 MAX 8 for United. And I know I have a friend who's also an aircraft painter, so I had him specially paint those numbers for me. And he does custom paint jobs for me as well for other aircraft. You know, one of the things that I enjoy doing, oops, okay. Unicom traffic, Flair 1603 is climbing from flight level 350 to 370. Okay, so let's go 370, step climb. Okay, check, we got 370 here, 370 here, and now set our altitude to 370 in the MCP in 3 places. Okay, and there we are, we're climbing. So what was I talking about? Oh, I lost my train of thought. Oh, you bought them. You know, I just watch them on YouTube, the short bits. I know that they represent longer videos, but you know, are the longer videos more fun than the sort of like maybe 20-30 minute long ones? What was that? What was the coincidence?
It's a shame there's no ATC on. You know, I fly this quota quite often on the weekends, and always something weird.
Yeah. Well, at least we have company.
True enough. I don't know, Dan, I don't think you can hear us up there. I'm not sure, you might be out of my range.
Yeah, he's about 35 miles ahead of me.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah, I got you in my scope about maybe 11 miles behind me.
Yeah, I changed my cost index a little bit. They had me running at a 5, so it was, you know, I was dropping off pace pretty good, so I just kind of cheated a bit. I'm up to an 80 now to keep up with you.
Okay, that works.
As long as they don't bill me for the difference.
Oh yeah, I remember now what I was going to talk about. Um, you know, the thing that I like to do is delivery flights. So I have done, not that I've done a whole bunch of them, but that's what I enjoy planning for. I've done a delivery flight for Korean Airlines. So I follow the route. You know, usually it's a multi-leg route. Um, so Korean Airlines, you know, it's all out of Seattle, either Boeing or the commercial airport in Seattle. So what is it? I've forgotten already. Anyway, I have done it for Malaysia Airlines 737-800, which I think it was Seattle to Honolulu to Guam, and then to Kuala Lumpur. And I'm currently en route on a Batik Airlines, which is also a Malaysian airline. And I've got one more sector to do, which is, I think it was either, I think it's Japan. Yeah, Narita to Kuala Lumpur. And I've got Qatar one planned, and also I also delivered a Spice Jet. That was fun, flying across the cold weather in the north. And Iceland landings are always good. And I also am getting ready for a Malaysia Airlines, their first MAX delivery. It's already been delivered. In fact, 3 have been delivered. But I'm going to do the delivery flight for the first one. And I got the paint scheme with my buddy, did the paint scheme for it, which looks great. So I can't wait to do a live stream of one of those. I've only just recently got into this live streaming. Okay, I need to have a copy offline, so opted to buy it. Okay, cool. I mean, the delivery date that your SIM bought, delivery date was a nice coincidence. A very nice coincidence, I know, amazing, right? Let's see, threshold 737 cockpit is from November 911 Uniform Alpha, United 737 Classic. Cool. Retired just after September 11th, 2001. Wow. Okay. I must be just out of Unicom range. I'm staying at flight level 350. Okay, roger. I'm at 370 at the moment. Computer cost and crew modified the cockpit to NG standards for the SIM. Not a functional thing, it's more a visual thing. Several things I still got to set up here. I gotta fix the controls and the pedals down. I have the seats, which are motorized vertically, and they are on J-rails. And then I've got all the lining inside. I mean, literally, you could not tell the difference between this aircraft and a real MAX, except for the external view, where you'll see the monitors instead of the world. I also have map lights that have to be installed, and the windows. There's actually windows, but you fasten these windows from the outside, not the inside. They found that worked better. Easier to remove them. Yeah, those delivery flights are pretty wild. You know, the range of the MAX is, you know, pushing it a little bit. You can sometimes be like in excess of 7 hours airborne. But across the north, where it's just ice, I mean, I actually have some videos out there already recorded, not live streams, but, you know, my previous technology was to record the screen itself of the TV. But now that I'm in the cockpit, I have had to adopt a different methodology. But the full view screen of flying over just barren icescapes, it's amazing. So just imagine from this view that you're seeing my cockpit from now, I'm going to move this monitor over to the center, so move it to the right, and then I'm going to add another one to the left and one to the right. So from this view, you would only see outside view, not have these, you know, blank spaces like here. So I'm posting a comment now. It's just not so easy for me to always be able to do that. Because my screen, I have to put it on my nav screen so I don't see it that well. Okay. Okay, so we just passed Brunswick, Golden Isles. Wow, you can really see this crosswind. You know, even looking at the map, you can see the crosswind in Navigraph charts by the angle of the icon for my aircraft to the left. All right, we are turning further to the right now. Heading for Isuzu, 30 miles. Let's do a fuel check. Our last waypoint was Allbeck with fuel remaining of 14.7. Allbeck, yeah. Okay, so Dan, you're reporting winds 271 at 101. Yeah, I've got 274 degrees at 98. Now it's wow, looking at the inbound to Toronto, 20 aircraft inbound, so that we are 3 of them. And let's see who's up. Tower is up. And I see Cleveland beforehand, yep. That Dan, you had pointed out before. So the wind's from 300 degrees. Oh, yep. So still consistent with my planned runway 23. I am planning a runway 23 approach. I know you guys will probably be doing 2-4s, and I'm not used to doing 2-4s, but I do 2-3s, and I request it even if I'm directed to do a 2-4, just because it gets me lined up with my Flair gates. I'll be at Alpha 3 on arrival. It's a little closer to that. Okay. Yes, they are. Okay. Let's see if I can tune into them. So are they 199.998? Okay. Oh, hang on. That's not right. 132.975. Okay. Okay, I hear Atlanta now. Thanks for the heads up.
Left got a good afternoon. Delta 2137 with you, flight level 36. Delta 2137, let us interrupt.
Okay, we just passed Isuzu.
Center United 2468, flight level 360.
Yeah, 2468, Atlanta Center.
So RNAV Yankee, I take it that's probably a short final. You wrap around and get a short final. So I'm more conservative. More room is less chance for things to go wrong. So, for those who are interested, you know, your profile for 737-800 is probably fairly well represented and it's pretty accurate in SimBrief. So this is the SimBrief flight plan that I generated, and if you look here, there's a thing called fuel bias, and fuel bias. If you find your aircraft is burning more thriftily than the plan indicates, you can tune it by adjusting the fuel bias. So I've done it to -15 because I'm more frugal than the plan model in SimBrief. But I continue to burn less fuel in most of my flights than the plan. So I'm probably going to dial that up to -16 before my next flight. But we'll see how it ends up now. Because right now I'm already almost, almost 1,000 pounds heavier with fuel than the plan indicated. Anyway, just a morsel there.
Inc. 77, Atlanta Center.
Atlanta Center, Alpha 528 on the ground and grab the cargo, ready to taxi.
Sorry, what's the call sign?
Reliable 528, November Romeo Tango.
Reliable 528, you're clear to the Atlanta Airport via radar vectors ES7 file, maintain 5,000, expect flight level 2201, 0 minutes after departure, departure at needs, block 601.
Good to the Atlanta Airport via radar vectors egress in the south, maintain 5,000, flight level 2201, 0 minutes after departure, departure frequency 20, and squawking 2601 for 528.
Reliable 528, read back correctly, exact runway 22 departure.
Affirm.
Reliable 528, runway 22, I think it's taxi via Lima, altimeter 300.
22 via Lima, 528.
Oh, interesting. I'm slowing up again because I did that VNAV, so I'm going to get back to 0.8. Sorry about that. Rick are probably catching up on me probably because of that. Okay, well, looking good otherwise. Speeding up to Mach 8. Not much in it though. About 0.004 knots slower. Let me see how close Rick is here on my scope. So about 10 miles away from me. About 10 to 11 miles. All right.
And reliable 520, showing short runway 22 at Juliet.
Reliable 528, turn right heading 270, runway 226, takeoff 123, 012.
Right to 270, runway 22, takeoff 528.
Hearing 77, correct, again.
So that's the approach that I have lining up, and that I have with I'm hoping to get. So looking at
Envoy 97.
the approach plate, my new deck intercept is, let's see, about 13 miles, 14 miles out from the runway threshold. And
Atlanta, good afternoon. Frontier Flight 1665 is
take a look
28
at
to the northeast of Greensboro, level 360.
There's two calling at once there, Frontier Flight 1665, Atlanta Center, Roger. Reliable 528, your radar contact south beginning.
And
528
528 just passing up. Just actually about at 5.
Yankee.
Reliable 528, climate maintain level 320, correct, good.
Doing it.
You get 528. And for lap 520, possibly you could get level 180.
Level 528, climb maintain level 180, I'll make that your final.
180, make that our final for 528.
Well, let's see, RNAV Yankee. What's that? Zulu.
Envoy 9742.
Yeah, I don't have any Yankee approaches. Got a Zulu and X-ray. Oh, thanks, honey. Yeah, I did make an adjustment. I put the gain up on the mic and I reduced the cockpit environment audio levels down. Thanks for chiming in and checking in with me. We'll have a wonderful flight. I'm flying with Dan and Rick. Yeah, am I saying your name correctly? Let's see where we are. It's alright. Yep, Rick. Okay. So I have company, even though we have no air traffic control at the moment. We're listening into Atlanta. That's nearby, but we're passing them without entering airspace. Yeah, for now.
American 2403 Atlanta Center, Roger.
Good afternoon, Air Canada 350, just so that
Air Canada 2826 Atlanta Center, Roger.
Columbia.
American 2403 to 718 level 330.
Down to 330 American 2403.
Gorge, 14.3.
Southwest to Atlanta.
Alright, we are now exactly 1,000 pounds heavier than the plane.
Just reported Atlanta.
Delta 550 Atlanta Center, climb and maintain, flight level 380.
Climb and maintain, flight level 380 for Delta 550.
American 2403, descend now to 330, then descend to piles discretion, maintain flight level 340.
So it looks like we are going to cut into Atlanta airspace. See that. Flight plan.
Envoy 9742, go ahead.
Yeah, we will be cutting into it. At what point?
Envoy 9742.
Just after M7.
American 2403, can we step away for 3 minutes?
American 2403, that's fine, let me run it back.
American 2403.
Okay, there's M7. So So we will try to raise Atlanta and M7.
Doing 77 inches and a close there. Doing 77 inches center is closed. Have a good day.
Atlanta Center, American 2403 is back.
American 2403, thank you. Southwest Duke. Delta 2137, there's an area of light to moderate fluctuation, 12 o'clock, distance 4 miles, descending to 30 miles per minute. Route of flight is deviation.
Doesn't seem like we'll be needing any deviations right now for subsequent 137. We're going to be coming right shortly after we have the waypoint hit. Roger.
Envoy 9743, thank you. American 2403, cross Glavin at 12000, 250 knots, one out, altimeter 300.
Alright, Glavin, 12000, 250 knots, American 2403.
Delta 381 is, I can barely, get it. Delta 2827 to set and maintain by level 340.
340 is the head.
For Delta 550, is there any weather report?
Sorry, who's asking for weather?
Medium.
Roger.
Atlanta Center, Flair 1603 is about to enter your airspace from the south at flight level 370.
Please, 1603 Atlanta Center, Roger. Reliable 528, cross Ozzy at 14000, altimeter 3001.
Ozzy at 14000 for 528.
Delta 2827, Jacksonville Center closed, frequency change 30, good day.
Thank you,
Bye.
Atlanta Center, WestJet 1009.
Go ahead.
Good afternoon, sir. We're checking in level 370, about 48 south of Charlotte.
WestJet 1009, Atlanta Center, welcome. We're into your flight 1665. We got two pieces of traffic before you come 12 o'clock at about 40 miles. First one's at 30 miles, 737 at level 370. The second piece of traffic is at your 12 o'clock at 40 miles, passing the top of 370 is also 737.
Copy for 265.
Foxtrot Lima Echo 1603. I'm sorry, what's the call sign?
Oh, what's that for me? Flair 1603.
Perfect, I got it now. Flair 1603, traffic 1 o'clock, 20 miles southbound, Airbus A321 at flight level 360.
Okay, I'm tracking it on my multifunction display. Thanks for the heads up, Flair 1603.
You got a WestJet 1009, traffic 1 o'clock, 30 south, Airbus, flight level 360.
Okay, we'll be looking on 1009.
Thank you.
American 9950, radio.
Can't see it on my, I can see it on my scope, but
Call for radio check.
no
American
visual.
9950.
American 9950.
Looks like though he's coming in at an angle where I might, if he's within 10 miles, I might be able to see him. See how it goes. We are officially in
Flair 1603. Mach number?
Mach decimal 8, Flair 1603.
Roger. Just maintain Mach 0.80 or greater for Flair 1603.
Roger, we'll maintain Mach decimal 8 or greater, Flair 1603.
WestJet 1009, just maintain Mach 0.79 for us.
Yeah, we're at 0.79 now for WestJet 1009.
Perfect, thank you. Reliable 5528, connect line approach 132.47.
So 132.47 for 528, see it.
Yeah, American 2403, line approach now.
Okay, we might be able to see him now if I look out my left window.
Approach 3347.
There you go, Frontier. That's looking out my right window. You can see him too.
American 9950.
American 9950.
Were you given clearance to climb past 4000?
No, he wasn't.
I don't think so. I'll go back down to 1.
Okay, American 9950, climb and maintain level 350. Make sure you listen out to assignments next time. There could be an airplane above you.
American 9950, sorry about that. It's my third day.
Roger, and just read back American 9950, climb and maintain level 350.
I'm maintaining level 350, American 9950.
Up to your flight 1665, Jackson, open or close, frequency change through, have a good day.
That's a Frontier. That's the Frontier that just passed by us, I think.
Yeah, it's 683, let us know, Roger.
We are right over Charlotte at the moment.
And radar 47 to Atlanta Center with you, 35,000.
Yeah, sorry, what's the call sign for Romeo Delta Golf?
That's Red Dog.
Red Dog, level 340.
Send down 240, 47.
Set 13.5, did I already get that? Yes. Next waypoint will be Ricky in 71 miles. So we're expecting Ricky at 2043, which is in about 9 minutes. Let's set our clock and see if that happens. I suspect.
Delta 2137, Indy Center, close radar service, terminator frequency change for you. Have a good rest of your day.
So Ricky in 9 minutes. Let's see if it happens. I think we're going to be there earlier.
Red Dog 5047, continue to descent, maintain 1000, altimeter Atlanta 3001.
See down 11,000.
Envoy 9742, Jackson, or close radar service, terminator frequency change for you. Have a good day.
Yeah, the plan says 2051, but the next waypoint is here's the difference here: 2051 and 2043. So 2043 is going to be right, which is in 9 minutes on the clock. And 2052 is
WestJet 1009. Are you able to accept by level 390?
Stand by. WestJet 1009, yeah, I think we can get the 390.
Alright, I just didn't want to slow you down. If I put you at 39, I can keep you just resume normal speed. But WestJet 1009, call me by level 390.
Okay, 390 for WestJet 1009.
All right, thanks, Rick. I guess let me check on VATScope to see what you're doing. You're doing 464 knots, and I'm doing 463 knots. And Dan is like 468 knots. Dan passing Winston-Salem at the moment. We just passed Charlotte to the left. And there's see the outside now. It looks like I'm approaching a coastline, but I think it's a lake. Some mountains. Maybe it's mountains. I can't tell. All right, let's check out duct pressure. Duct pressure looks like it's about 40, which is just fine. Cabin climb is level, which it should be. Cabin altitude is, looks like, just shy of 10,000 feet. And
Canada 2826 Washington.
pressure differential is 7.7.
What are you going to call? Thanks again for your APP and have a weekend. Be there.
Fuel temperature, negative 15 degrees. Outside air temperature, negative 28 centigrade. Okay, looks pretty good. So don't know if you can.
550 minutes center closed. Radar service terminated. Frequency change approved. Have a good day.
This is my wipers.
Going to the dark side, you know,
Thanks.
Don't know if you can hear that. This is my wipers. You don't see them, but you can hear them. Yeah, this is the Blue Mountains, I guess. We're starting to see in front of us.
Red Dot 5047 expedite. Then connect line approach 133.47. Have a good day.
Expediting,
And Red Dog 5047 contact the line approach 133.47.
277 at 131 knots. Yeah, I've got on the left side 278. Very similar to your situation. Yeah. So as soon as we've gone beyond Lundo, I am going to hand control over to my first officer while I take a short break of maybe 12 minutes to refill my coffee, and then I'll be back.
Yes, 1560 Atlanta Center, Roger, climbing tape level 370.
So right now in my current setup, I have...
Okay, 2468, I do have converted traffic off your left line about 50 miles. Set to maintain level 340.
Set to maintain level 340. Not expensive.
There's a couple of things that I have to also check on, but I'm not really worried about them. I've got my camera that's shooting this view that you're looking at now. It's a Micro Four Thirds camera. It's a Panasonic GH5 Mark II, and I've got it plugged into an external battery pack, which I'm looking at now, and it's showing 81%. So no worries at all. And then the device that all my feeds are going into is called a YOLO Box Ultra, and that's also plugged into an external power supply. But I'm also not really worried about that. I can't quite reach the battery, but I will check on it. The YOLO Box has got onboard power of about 6 hours, and that's the device which is allowing me to do these comments and the live streaming, and then also to have these overlays with the map view like this, and ability to do picture-in-picture and so on and so on. So there's plenty more inputs that I can put into the YOLO Box, but I haven't quite figured out what I want to do with it, but this is sort of like a nice minimum requirement.
Flair 1603 Washington Center, closed, frequency change 3, have a good day.
Roger, over to Unicom, Flair 1603, good day. Okay, 122.8. Okay, Ricky at 12.5. Looks like Lund is going to be about 12.3. So the amount we've got in the tank is steadily increasing.
1009, Washington. Closed, radar service terminated, frequency change approved. Have a good day.
Thanks, man. We'll see you next time. Westjet 1009.
There's Rick. Oh, sorry. That's not right. It'll be 12.3. Okay, we're switching over to Unicom now, and I am all stations on Unicom traffic. Flair 1603 is going to be leaving the cockpit for about 12 minutes. We'll report back when in the cockpit. Flair 1603.
Okay, enjoy your time away there, my friend.
Thank you. Got to get fueled up.
Roger that.
All right, I'll give you guys a nice view. Let's set my watch to 12 minutes. Okay, see you guys in a short while. Hi, Unicom traffic. Flair 1603 is back in the cockpit.
Welcome back, sir.
Thank you. Hey, Eddie. Thanks for subscribing. Appreciate it. Always nice to get a new subscriber while you're flying. It's not like I'm a major tuber or anything. So far I think I've got about 50 subscribers. Okay, let's try to catch up on where we are. Looks like there's some control airspace coming up. And who would that be? Looks like it's Cleveland. Just double checking the frequency. 119.875. .875. Alright, I'm switching over.
Yeah, it's 310. Boston Center's closed. Radar service terminated. Exchange crew.
And 22.8, thanks for your help. United 210, see ya.
.com 38. Exchange crew. Radar service terminated.
Over Unicom, .com 38, have a good night.
Looks like Cleveland.
42 Victor. Radar service terminated. Exchange crew.
Unicom 42 Victor, good night.
Okay.
Delta 1105. Radar service terminated. Exchange crew.
50 Unicom, thanks for the ATC, but got the 1105.
Delta Alpha Sierra Hotel Yankee, same for you. Radar service terminated and free exchange crew.
Delta Hotel Yankee, Unicom, bye, see ya.
There are 75 Uniform Papa, free exchange crew, good night.
I will see you 75 Uniform Papa.
Delta, or United 1393, you're the last one. Radar service terminated, free exchange crew, have a good night.
Frigate approved, United 1393, thank you for the ADC.
Yeah, we're definitely burning at a lower rate than the plan. I'm definitely going to update my fuel factor, the fuel bias, in my next plan. Somebody's crossing my path about 10,000 feet below. That's probably this guy. I don't know what aircraft that is. But he's going from New York to Memphis, Tennessee. Next waypoint is Ricks. 5 miles to go. Unicom. Don't see it. Okay, let's take a look at ATIS for Toronto Pearson. Let's see what they're planning for us. Oh, we just lost Cleveland. Oh boy, okay. Perfect timing, right? But we do have Toronto Center at least. Okay, so let's have a look. Come on. Come on. Okay. So the ATIS primary approach is ILS runway 24 left. Secondary is 23. Simultaneous parallel approaches in effect, departure runway 23. Okay, so if it's simultaneous, I'm going to request weather conditions QNH 2978 and clouds broken at 3,600 feet. Visibility is 24 kilometers. The winds themselves, well, it's going to be a pretty good crosswind coming in, probably a 15 knot component from the right. Should be fun. We'll be crabbing for sure. Okay. So let's lay it up for runway 23. It'll be 111.5 for the localizer. Decision height for the ILS is 808 feet, which is about 250 radial altimeter. So 808. So we'll do 810. And 273 degrees. So 237 degrees. So we're going to go back to Unicom. So our planned arrival weight, fuel is 7,700 remaining. So that would be we'll do a flaps 30 for now. Okay. There's our top of descent coming up. in about 135 miles. So 2137. So in about 26 minutes time. Okay. Okay, let's do the approach briefing. So the approach we're expecting is the Ling 3 arrival. Okay, and we'll put this in daylight just to be able to read it correctly. So the Ling 3 arrival, let's just step to our legs page. Okay, so Oxman, there we go, that's the transition point, Oxman. And then T-Mills, MyPal, which is a holding point. Ling, there's a Ling. And the first restrictions are at waypoint Youth. Will be 250 knots and between 11,000 and 13,000 feet, which is correct. And then we'll go to Bimpo. Bimpo, the restriction is 10 knots and at 8,000 feet. Then Verco, Marad, Dekni, Davno, Dunall. And then we should be vectored for the ILS approach runway 23. Our initial fix on 23 is the waypoint Nudek, at which we need to be at, I believe it's 3,000 feet. Let's check that. Yes, 3,000 feet. And if we abort the landing and do a missed approach, we continue on heading 237, which is runway heading up to 1,100 feet, and then turn right to intercept a radial for Yankee Yankee Zulu, and Yankee Yankee Zulu is 112.15. We might actually tune that in. 112.15. Okay, I'll tune that on the right hand side. VOR. Okay, and then we can do a hold at ICDOT at 3,000 feet. So the transition level going into Toronto is 18,000 feet. So on the ground, once we arrive after landing runway 23, we'll try to vacate as quickly as possible. So I'm going to go with auto brakes 3, and we'll either vacate at Hotel 2 or Hotel 4, and then expect to backtrack runway 15 right, cross 15 right, cross 15 left, and then make a right-hand turn onto Bravo, and then a left-hand turn onto Alpha Tango into the apron for Flair. And then we're looking at gate Alpha 3. Okay. Any risks? No risks other than the crosswind. We've got to watch that. Other than that, I think we'll be fine. Okay. So our top of descent is coming up in 100 miles. Let's make sure we plug in the frequency for Toronto Center. It's getting busy at Toronto. 26 arrivals, 18 departures. They've got ATIS and approach control right now. And of course, Toronto Center is 125.775. 125.775. Let's switch to that now. A bit early, but okay. And Oxman, we're about 100 miles away from Oxman.
Center at Learjet, November 71 Echo Charlie, climb at 12,000 for flight over 230.
Learjet, November 721 Echo Charlie, Toronto Center, good day.
Okay, but we lost Cleveland, but Toronto is coming up pretty loud.
So 366, climb flight level 370.
370.
So Toronto Center right now, where are we? Okay. Yeah, that's my home airbase there, Washington Dulles. So we've passed Washington Dulles. And it looks like, Rick, it looks like you're, pretty much about 7 miles behind me, but you did that step climb to 390. So I'm guessing you're going into the 2-4s. And therefore I'll be fine going to the 2-3s. Maybe parallel approach.
Learjet 1 Echo Charlie, unfortunately Cleveland's offline, surveillance service terminates, switch to the 100 frequencies, good day.
Okay, switch on route 1 Echo Charlie.
So our top of descent is right before Oxman. In Oxman, we're not yet in Toronto airspace, so I can begin my descent in Unicom.
Good evening, Toronto Center, Canada 523, passing 10,000 for flight over 230, squad 2213.
Canada 503, Toronto Center, good day.
So let's see what frequency approaches. Approaches 132.8. So there's no ground. Just approach, center and approach. We're on center now, 125.775. And then we can switch to approach shortly.
Toronto Giant 8237 Heavy would like to take a step up to flight level 350.
Giant 8237, climb flight level 350. Air Canada 401, when you're ready, descend flight level 240. Air Canada 401, when ready, descend flight level 240.
Air Canada 401, we're ready to descend to flight level.
Good evening, Toronto Center, Canada 1105, checking in with you, passing 8,500 feet for flight level 230, inbound mix.
Canada 1105, Toronto Center, good day, proceeder at gantry.
Proceed direct gantry, Air Canada 1105.
Canada 503, proceed direct Flint, Foxtrot, November Tango.
So,
Red
next,
to watch November Tango, flight level Air Canada 503.
next natural altitude to go down to is I guess we can do 140. No, sorry, 130. That would be perfect. 130 would be fine.
Sorry, repeat for Romeo Echo.
Romeo Echo Echo, Charlie's current, it's runway 26 and the altimeter is 2978.
2978, I'll expect runway 26 for Romeo Echo Echo.
Canada 503, climb flight level 380.
380, Canada 503.
Okay, that sounded like Dan.
Canada 2826, Toronto Center, good day, Bravo is current, descend 1000, the altimeter is 2978, land runway 24 left.
Land 24 left, and that's right, and 1000.
United 907, contact Montreal Center, 128.77.
28.77 tonight, United 907.
Canada 1105, climb flight level 360.
Flight level 360, Air Canada 1105, thank you.
Canada 401, descend 7000, altimeter 2978, runways 24 left.
Air Canada 401 down to 7000, we are good.
Unicom traffic, Flair 1603, currently level at flight level 370. We'll be descending in about 18 miles down to flight level 130, bound for Toronto, Unicom traffic. Gauge, so we should go automatically down since the MCP altitude has been reset to flight level 130. Actually, it's 13,000 feet, 13,000. We have 25 arrivals into Toronto and only one approach controller, so hopefully the flights are spread out over time. And 21 departures also. Here we go, 10 miles to top of descent. Get ready for our descent checklist. Pressurization landing altitude has been set at 550 feet. Recall is checked. Auto brakes have been set to 3. Landing data VREF, right now it's flaps 30, 146 knots. We'll probably have to update that as we get closer, and the approach briefing has been completed. Descent checklist complete, even though we haven't started descending yet. But we'll do so shortly. Okay, now 4 miles from top of descent. Should see some fun now. Throttle should come back. And our trend vector over here should start pointing down to match the magenta line of our flight path. Excuse me. Excusez-moi. So let's have a look for, and now our descent is beginning now. So T-Mills is going to be where we switch over to Toronto Center. Actually, we'll probably call it maybe 15 miles away from T-Mills.
Montreal Center 128.77.
So Rick and I are descending at the same time. Rick's going down to 11,000. I'm going down to 13,000. We should have ATC from Toronto Center.
Contact Montreal Center 128.77. Good day.
Shortly.
Montreal now 128.77. That's correct.
Okay, just double checking. ILS frequency 111.5, 237 set both courses. Decision height is 810 on my PFD. Landing altitude 550, so we're looking good. Some traffic that's above us that's going right to left from the right, but they're getting higher, so no worries. When we're getting lower, that's what it is.
Canada 2826, contact arrival 132.8.
Okay, that's Dan. Alright.
Thanks, you too.
Toronto Center, Delta 2561. Not sure if I'm gonna come inside your airspace, but level 380.
No, sir, you can stay on Unicom 22-8.
Roger, over to Unicom, 956
Toronto Center Flair 1603 is descending through flight level 290 for 13,000 feet.
Flair 1603, Center, good day. Information's Charlie, runway 24 left. Descend 11,000, altimeter 298.
Control a little bit time. Flair 1603.
Toronto, good afternoon. WestJet 1009, information Charlie. We're descending down to 11,000, just leaving 300 now.
WestJet 1009, Center, good day. Charlie is current, runways 24 left, descend 11,000, altimeter 2980.
80, 11,000, 24 left, 1009.
Air Canada 1105, unfortunately Cleveland's offline, surveillance service terminates, switch to the en route frequencies, good day.
Go to Unicom 132.8, Flair Canada 1105. Thanks for the great service. Have a good rest of your weekend. Bye-bye.
Thanks, you too, bye-bye. JetBus 140, climb flight level 340.
Climb 340, JetBus 140. Toronto Center, UPS 6541. Heavy, passing flight level 240.
UPS 6541, Toronto Center, good day. Information Charlie's current. UPS 6541, climb flight level 320.
Level 320, UPS 6541.
Okay, let's get folks in their seats. Engine switches to continuous. The anti-ice on, just out of an abundance of caution. So the approach will be 132.8.
Canada 503, Cleveland Center is offline, surveillance service terminates, switch to the en route frequencies, good day.
Change here, Canada 523. Steve.
Toronto Center, good afternoon. Voyager 419, flight level 370, 57 miles northeast of the Traverse DBOR. Voyager 519, Toronto Center, good day.
Hello, Toronto Center, it's Canada 414, not 9,000 feet, climbing 230.
Canada 414, Toronto Center, good day.
Good day.
Toronto Center, UPS 784, passing flight level 390 with you.
UPS 784, Toronto Center, good day. Charlie's current in Toronto.
Charlie current, UPS 784.
Toronto Center, Voyager 419, request to wait 5 minutes. No problem, call when you're back.
Go.
Okay, we're just passing transition altitude.
WestJet 1009, flight vector for spacing, turn right heading 040.
040 for spacing, WestJet 1009.
UPS 6541, what's your plan Mach number?
We've got Yankee Yankee Zulu on our VOR2 for the missed approach.
UPS 784, just maintain speed Mach point 84 or less.
Mach point 84 or less, UPS 784.
Down to 401, contact arrival 132.8. Good day.
Air Canada 401, head for arrival. Thanks very much for the service. Have a great weekend.
Nice you too. WestJet 1009, proceed right to Ling on course.
Okay, back to Ling on course 1009.
Air Canada 414, climb flight level 270.
270 for Air Canada.
WestJet 1537, unfortunately, Winnipeg's offline. Surveillance service terminates, switch to under frequencies. Good day. WestJet 1537, Toronto.
Send Frontier flight 1877, passing 14,000 for flight level 230.
Frontier flight 1877, Toronto Center. Good
Ladies
day.
and gentlemen, at this time we ask that you store any electronic devices until we are safely parked at the gate, as use of such devices could interfere with the electronic landing equipment on board the aircraft. In final preparation of the landing, please ensure your seatbelts are securely fastened, your seatbelts are in the upright position, and your tray tables are stowed. Any hand luggage should be underneath the seat in front of you or facing the area of the aircraft. The flight attendants will be passing through the cabin one last time to complete their final compliance check. And
Canada 4302, Toronto Center. Good day.
Toronto Center, Flair 1603, do you want me with approach now?
Flair 1603, contact arrival now 132.8.
132.8, Flair 1603, good day.
Sir, good day, Rouge 186. Romeo, Foxtrot Romeo Echo Echo, descend 2000.
Descend 2000, Romeo Echo.
And Romeo Echo Echo, let's try fields at your 1 o'clock, 14 miles front side.
Lower 46, Romeo Echo.
Toronto approach, Flair 1603 with you, leveling out at 1000 and requesting runway 23.
Flair 1603, Toronto arrival, hello. Information, Charlie Trump, Delta 2980, expect runway 23, descend 8000.
Expect runway 23, descend 8000, Flair 1603.
Toronto WestJet 1009 with you, coming out of 12000. We got information shortly.
WestJet 1009, Toronto arrival, hello. Information, Charlie. Alright, you got thanks for Charlie. Delta 2980, expect runway 24 left, descend 8000.
8000, 8024 left for 1009.
Toronto first Air Canada 400, climbing to 3000.
Air Canada 400, Toronto arrival, hello. You're identified, climb 7000.
Climb 7000, Air Canada 400.
Romeo,
The
Echo,
south
Echo,
point
turn
coming
right
up.
2260.
So the airfield is straight ahead, but for the clouds we can't see them.
Romeo Echo Echo, turn right 2260.
T60 Romeo SS Glen. I believe I have a field space.
Romeo Echo, roger, cleared to visual approach runway 26.
Over, sorry, can I get a repeat for Romeo SS one?
You're cleared to visual approach runway 26.
Clear for the visual runway 26 Romeo SS.
Air Canada 400, turn left direct Sabre on course.
Left direct Sabre on course.
Be 1,000 below that. So 1,000 below 8.5. So that's going to be 9.5. So the
2826, contact tower
47.5.
Yep.
For Tower 87, hey, nice job on the approach. Have a great weekend. Take care. Air Canada 3.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
Sounds like this tower. So what is the tower frequency? 118.7.
643, contact transmitter 12577. Yep.
25-7. Okay, so let's wait.
118.7.
Air Canada 401, contact tower 118.7. Yep.
Air Canada.
Take Rouge 1865, with you descending to 1000. Rouge 1865, information Charlie's current sales number is 2980. Runway 24 left, descend 8000. Expect 24 late, caution 24 left, 2980 and descend 8000, 1865. Flair 1603, descend 4000.
Descend 4,000, 1603.
Departure United 214 heading 245.
United 242 Toronto departure. You are identified passing through 2,100, climb 7,000.
So that's a United Airbus A320 taking up.
Traffic.
And we got what we requested in terms of runway 23.
United 242, turn left, check Sabre on course.
So terrain already marked. Yeah.
Turn left direct. Sabre, United 242.
At 1009, descend 4000.
4,1009.
You don't have any speed limits here that I can tell. Okay, we are downwind now from the airfield, as you can see.
Rouge 1865, maintain 210 knots. 210 knot, 1865.
23 knots right now. 230.
United 242, climb level 230.
Arm speed brakes.
Can I get that again?
Climb flight level 230, 23,000 feet.
330, United 242.
United 242, confirm 230, 23,000 feet.
Is that for Canada 400?
Canada 400, I already gave you your climb to level 230.
Okay, sorry about that.
Okay.
Okay, maybe we go to 220 knots.
United 242, actually, United 242, turn right heading 160. Flair 1603, turn left heading 330.
Left heading 330, flare 1603. Oh,
Rouge 1865, descend 4,000.
4,000, 1865.
Departure American 12 or Air Canada 1287 is 1,500 climbing.
Let's go flaps 1.
Air Canada 1287, Toronto arrival, you're identified.
200 knots.
Air Canada 400, contact center 12577, yep.
Contacting Toronto Center, Air Canada 400.
We need to get down to 3,000.
That is 242, contact center 12577, yep. Rouge 1865, figure cancel.
Free speed, 1865.
Okay, 170 until Octok, cleared for the approach runway 23, Flair 1603.
WestJet 1009, turn left heading 230, descend 3,000.
Second, was that for 1009?
WestJet 1009, turn left heading 230,
Okay, flaps 5.
descend 3,000.
Okay, we're hearing heading 230. You want us on 330 and 3000? WestJet 1009.
WestJet 1009, April.
Okay, roger, thanks. And did you give any other instructions to Air Canada 1287? We're 5,000, still on that 245 heading off the runway.
WestJet 1009, sorry, maintain 4,000 if you're not already descending.
We can stop it, not a problem, 4,000 WestJet 1009.
Air Canada 1287, I tried to give you instructions earlier, didn't respond. Turn right direct to Telecom course, time label 630.
We're good.
And we couldn't hear the altitude, Air Canada 1287.
Climb flight level 230.
Alright, climb 230, Air Canada 1287.
So we're going to maintain 170 knots until Omtok. So we're just going to leave it. We'll do our gear down at Omtok. Okay, we are lining up for our runway 23.
WestJet 1009, turn left heading 270 and subclear the ILS Rwy.
And we're going to try to vacate at Hotel 2 or Hotel 4.
Okay, 270 for the joint, 170
Vacate is to the left.
Let's do for the left, WestJet 1009.
Air Canada 1287, contact center on 12577, yep.
Alright, 125, and sorry about that earlier, just I was having issues with headset.
Air Canada 1287, yep. Flair 1603, contact tower 118.7, yep.
118.7, Flair 1603, see ya. Okay. Toronto Tower, Flair 1603 is on the ILS for runway 23.
Sir, 1603, Toronto Tower, hello, the wind 300 out 14, gusting 20, runway 23, cleared to land.
Clear to land, runway 23, Flair 1603. Okay, let's gear down. Flaps 15. We're going to go to flaps 30, speed check 175 knots. Okay, we can do it now, flaps 30. And it should be 152 knots. 152 knots. Landing lights on. Okay, landing checklist. Approach altimeters have been set. Landing engine start switches to continuous, speed brakes armed. Landing gear down. Flaps set at 30 and green lights. Landing checklist completed. We are expecting to vacate at Hotel 2 or Hotel 4 to the left.
Toronto, good evening, WestJet 1009 coming down.
So we are getting that crosswind. I was expecting
hello to wind
14 knots.
20, run 2 for left, clear to land.
Not too bad.
Okay, clear to land 2 for left with the gust, WestJet
Vacate to the left.
1009.
Okay, autopilot disconnect.
Approaching 2, 3. $500.
400.
300. Minimums.
Landing.
That's all right, Christopher Park Brigade, 193, and how good we go.
Auto throttle disconnect.
100. 50. 40. 30. 20.
Kind of 401 is parked at gate 128. Thanks for the service and have a good weekend.
Reverses. Let's do heavy on the reverses. Whoa. Manual braking. Okay, looks like
Flair 1603, welcome to Toronto, vacate left, enable.
Approaching.
Roger, vacating left on Hotel 2.
It will take the captain a few moments
Actually,
to
Hotel
taxi to the
4.
gate, and we ask that you remain seated with your seatbelt securely fastened until the seatbelt sign has been turned off and the aircraft comes to a complete stop at the gate. That will be the only indication that it is safe to get up and move about the cabin. We also ask that you keep the aisle clear of any hand luggage. This is the termination of our flight, so we ask that you check the seat back pockets and overhead lockers for any articles you may have brought with you.
Yes, Alpha 3.
When opening overhead lockers, as some items may have shifted during our flight. On behalf of the captain and his crew, we would like to thank you for flying with us and wish you all a pleasant stay. Thank you.
Hotel, Bravo, and Alpha Tango, and cross 15 right and 15 left to the up.
Okay, proceed by Hotel, cross 15 right, 15 left, and then right on Bravo and Alpha Tango, Flair 1603.
Toronto, good evening, Rouge 1865 with you, establish 2 spots.
Start up the APU.
Rouge 1865 Toronto Tower, hello, you're number 2, following the Boeing 738, short line, all the wind 300 at 14, gusting 20, moving 2 more left, clear to land. Following 737, clear to land, Rouge 1865, number 2.
Toronto clearance, United 8534 for IFR 2 Boston.
Unit 8534 Toronto Tower, hello, you're cleared to Boston by the KEPTA 3 departure, transition, flight plan route, depart runway 23, squawk 5512.
Over there, that Air Canada terminal, that's where
Okay, we are clear 8534 to Boston via KEPTA 3, bump to transition, then flight plan route, climb to 330, 5512 on the squawk.
Alpha 3.
United 8534, just make sure the initial climb and all during this bid.
Don't need to follow me.
Charts there, but the route is correct. Mission starts at your discretion. Call taxi.
Okay, climb via SID, and we'll call for taxi. Pushes at our discretion.
8534 firm pushes at your discretion. Call taxi.
Okay, we'll go, thanks, 8534.
Push at
Crossing
Toronto, WestJet 1009, clear 2 for left, 10 Delta 4, looking for gate 135.
Approaching 1,
Roger 1009, Roger, taxi gate 135 via Delta 4, Charlie Alpha, Alpha Kilo, cross 24 right and 33 right.
Actually, let's cancel that. I forgot we're flying for WestJet today. We're looking for Charlie 29 in Toronto. Sorry about that.
WestJet 1009, no worries, taxi Delta 4, Charlie Alpha, Alpha Juliet, cross 24 right and 33 right.
Okay, right. Charlie Alpha, Alpha Juliet, cross 24 right and 33 right, and WestJet 1079. Excellent.
Happy landing, guys. Thanks for the invite for this sector, Dan, and enjoyed flying with you and Rick. Let's do it again sometime. Well, my next flight is probably going to be Vectors to Copenhagen, unless I do something tomorrow.
Toronto Tower, Air Canada 267 is ready to taxi to...
Okay, crossing 15 left.
Air Canada 267, runway 23, altimeter 2984, taxi...
Gonna make a right onto Bravo after crossing the runway.
Air Canada 267, apologies, that wasn't a landline there. Runway 23, altimeter 2980, taxi Alpha Lima.
Approaching.
Alpha
5 left.
No worries, Alpha Lima, Alpha
Okay, we can
Hotel.
put our steady lights on now that we've crossed the runway. So we're going to make a right onto Bravo.
Rouge 1865, welcome to Toronto, vacate right when able, cross runway 24 right.
Right now, cross 24 right, Rouge 1865.
Rouge 1865, and where are you pricing today?
Rouge 1865, that's 177.
Rouge 1865, taxi gate 177 via Delta 4, Delta, Quebec, cross 33 right.
Okay, it's not this turn.
177 via Delta 4.
And not the
Delta,
next one, but it's the one after that.
Delta Quebec and cross 33 right, Rouge 1865.
That looks like maybe Rick in the WestJet. Not 100% sure, but I think he might be. Straight ahead, that would be. Left onto Alpha Tango. Okay, you can see our marshaller on Alpha 3. You can't, but I can. Okay, let's put the APU on the bus. And dual bleeds.
Pearson Tower, good evening. At 1048 Heavy, I fire Boston. We have Charlie on board.
We had 1048 Toronto Tower, hello, request Boston by the Kepler 3 departure from transition flight plan route, departure runway 23, block 5516.
Clear Boston, Kepler 3, bumper transition, flight plan route, departure, runway 23, squawk 5510 for 1048.
Yeah, 1048, every back is correct, permission starts at your discretion, call for taxi.
Up taxi, 1048.
degrees, not too bad. Okay, and we are parked. Powering down at 2205. Okay, let folks out of their seats. And request deboarding.
Deboarding requested.
Okay. The ice off, probes off. Let's request ground power. Ground power requested, ground power on. Board entries open. The ice off.
Passengers deboarding starting.
Emergency lights off. Ground power is available. We did turn it on, didn't we? Okay. Fuel off. APU off. And turn lights off. Fuel pumps off. Your damper. Isolation valve open. APU bleed off. Okay. I think
267, whatever, contact departures 13.
We are all set. As usual, I just want my set times to record it. Takeoff was at
267. Have a good one.
19er.
Jetline 633, ready for taxi. Apologize for the delays.
Jetline 636, not a problem. Runway.
Hey, that was a lot of fun. Thanks, Dan.
Taxi Alpha Juliet Alpha Hotel.
23.
Yeah, we got to stay in touch.
Alpha Juliet Alpha Hotel. That'll be for Jetline.
Okay, have a good dinner. Hey, thanks for the invite, man. Really enjoyed it. And yeah, Discord. Okay,
there you go, 637.
I've never tried that.
On, just stand by.
I mean, I've tried Discord, but never tried to communicate on Discord
runway,
via email.
Or actually, stand by.
Oh, actually, I can email you. Okay, ciao. And to Rick, too. Enjoyed flying with you.
With you on the ILS 24 left approach.
Okay, landing was at 21:56. And fuel remaining was
Good afternoon, Toronto. It's Delta 1125. Request 3C to Duff Kennedy. We are information Charlie inboard.
okay. And elapsed time.
Jetline 636.
2 hours.
Got that squawk low trailer there.
41.
Jetline 636. Indeed, I did. Thank you so much.
15.
Traffic.
Boy, that shouldn't be the case. Traffic is off. With the radar off. Terrain radar off. Flight directors off. We are set to off. Okay.
Toronto Tower, Clipper
Set
682,
altitude
IFR clearance.
3000. Speed reset to 100.
682 Toronto Tower, hello, you're clear to Chicago, ready to go up for departure. Hockey transition, flight plan route, depart runway 23, walk 5506.
Clear to Chicago via the Go Pup 4, hockey transition, and then as filed, we'll expect departure runway 23, 5506 in the box for Clipper.
Flair on the ground in Toronto.
6823, back is
Take
correct.
a picture which we can use for our thumbnail. Yep, this is how I do it.
It's at 1048, ready for taxi.
At 1048, runway 23, altimeter 2980, taxi through the apron.
Okay.
Alpha Lima, Alpha Hotel.
Alpha Lima, Alpha Hotel. It's at 1048.
Toronto Tower, citation 77, Mike November is at the General Aviation Parking, request IFR to New York.
Citation 77, Mike November, Toronto Tower, hello, for some reason I don't have you on my list here. Would you mind refiling your flight plan again?
Let me double check that please, sir. Stand by.
Toronto Tower, UPS 6541, I think it just crashed. I'll be disconnecting and cancelling the 24 left ILS.
UPS 6541, sorry to hear that, good sir. Thanks for flying in, see you.
Yeah, UPS 6541.
Oh, Toronto Tower, citation 77, Mike November, request IFR.
Citation 77, Mike November.
All right, all.
No luck on my
Thanks.
end. Not my one. Let me see if I can fix it.
Thanks for joining the flight. And we will catch up with you on the next one. Ciao for now.